When I moved here to Atlanta and got a job at the Howard School, I feel like that's where I really grew up as a teacher. It really shaped and kind of my foundation and my educational philosophy. And I think probably the biggest things I took away from my time at Howard was just the idea of making sure we're teaching kids the way they need to be taught. And I just learned a lot about the importance of teaching with the brain in mind, and because it's a place that is always studying the most recent neuroscience and just trying to apply that research to how we work with kids. I feel like I always recognized that the piece of teaching that I liked the most and that was making the most difference was the human stuff, the connection with the kids, just all of the pieces of education that are not about the academics. So getting to know my kids, the things that make them tick, working to help make sure that they were happier people after their time with me. Recognizing that kind of was the beginnings of figuring out how to turn that philosophy into a school. So when we first started the school, my two stepchildren were school age. They were like upper elementary and middle school. And then 2 years ago, my husband and I, we now have our own child who's 2. And that's been a whole new phase because he came to school with me for the first year and a half, which was great. I loved having him there. But as soon as he could walk, that was over. And so I think now the biggest challenge is just running a business and finding the time to, be as present as I want to be as a mom. So just the time piece probably, and prioritizing things like I need to. So at CORE, we value the human aspects of education. We prioritize connection over everything else, and we really just work to make school a place that is happy and joyful and, helps kids rewrite their narrative of what school is, what teachers are, of who they themselves are. And so our mission is to help rewrite that and make school a place that they want to be with people that they want to be around, and help them figure out who they are and who they want to be. I would say the priority on the social emotional well-being and the happiness of our kids. We think of ourselves as a school for the whole family. So we don't think we feel like our work doesn't just end with the kids. We really try to make sure that we're helping to make the lives of our families better, and we try to empower the parents and work with the whole family throughout the way. So one of our graduates last year, he was having a really rough stretch during his senior year. Stuff at home was not going well. The therapists and parents were really considering him having to go to a therapeutic school and move out west and take some time away from the home just because it had become so negative. And just kind of an example of how we try to work with the whole family and help solve problems at that level. We have a school farm, and this student really loves being outside. He loves the Fridays at the farm. He loves his dogs. He loves anything outdoors. So we had the idea to let them start doing their family therapy sessions at the school farm. And so they would bring his dog, and it was really the only way that he opened himself up to participating in family therapy again. And they were able to, as a family, just work through a lot of really big stuff and get him to a much better place. And he never had to, be sent away to a different program. He was able to stay in our school, and just all of them were really able to grow a lot throughout the process. So many of our students do come to us with some trauma, whether that was from previous schools or just life situations. And we really just, that's where all the human stuff comes in, and the prioritizing the connections with the adults, making them feel safe, really changing their entire view on what school is. And a lot of our kids, we think of it, they come to us with all of these negative experiences that have piled up, and we kind of think of it as we have to provide enough positive experiences to override those and to kind of fill it up above the negative. So it all comes down to the connection piece though, and them learning to trust adults again, and being able to be available to learn at school and all the things they need to learn about themselves. I think we started CORE when I was in my late 30s, so I was close to 40, and I think being a little older when you start a business or make a change or just make a big decision, it's awesome because you know who you are, you know what you care about. And I think I definitely feel very lucky and fortunate that I do work every day that I really care about. And I think people just need to find something that matters to them and something that they feel passionate about and something that makes a difference. And make that your vocation, and you can't really beat that, you know. So and just the idea, this is obvious, but like things don't happen unless you just make them happen. Ideally, I would love for CORE to pave a way for a new way of thinking about school and a new way of thinking about what the role of school is in students' lives. We have a lot of teachers that work at our school that really never thought they would maybe be in education, and so there's really something powerful in helping to reshape the idea of what a teacher is and what that job is and what it entails and what values and qualities make you a good teacher. And I would say that ultimately, my hope is that our work could inspire other school leaders and policymakers to really rethink what we need to be prioritizing in education and in our schools.